Hello everyone, my name is Amery and I am your online speech instructor for Spring 2020. I wanted to introduce myself and put a face to a name to a voice and give you a brief overview of what this online speech class will look like this term. So again, my name is Amery. If it helps you to remember it, it rhymes with Camry, like Toyota Camry. You can call me Amery or Ms. Bodelson, either one will work. And I have been a communication skills instructor here at Western for over 10 years. I started full-time in 2009, and before that I taught at nights as an adjunct while I was working as a grant writer. And I teach speech, I teach English composition, I teach literature courses, and sometimes a career or a college success course. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about who I am personally so you know who I am and where I'm coming from, and as I get to know you all through the discussion boards and your entries and your videos, I'm hoping that we can create a nice sense of community here in this online classroom. So I've been teaching at Western for over 10 years. Before that I was a grant writer and a technical writer. I have my undergraduate degree in English writing and my master's degree in English literature. And I have a husband of 20 years whose name is Dan. He works at LHI. And we have two cats, one named Gouda, like the cheese, and one named Fisher, like a Fisher cat. If you don't know what that is, do a quick Google search. He's black and he kind of looks like it. And in my spare time, I love to travel. We try to get overseas every couple years for a big trip. That's what I save my pennies for, and my last trip was to Spain for our 20-year anniversary, which was a great trip. And I also enjoy yoga, gotten back into that recently, and playing the piano, reading, writing, hiking, biking, walking, and cooking. So those are some of the things that I enjoy in my spare time. I realize that by taking a speech class that many of you are probably hesitant and that many of you are probably a little bit nervous, if not scared. And I wanted to say that I completely understand that. In fact, I did not do well in my first speech class in college, and mostly because I stopped going because I was terrified. So I understand what those nerves feel like, and I also know that you can overcome them and that you can build your confidence and be a stronger public speaker. So in this course, you will be delivering 4 formal, I call them speeches. Your first one is a speech of introduction, basically. Your second one is an informative speech. Your third is a persuasive speech. And your final is a tribute speech. The longest you will have to talk is usually about 8 minutes, and the least amount of time you will have to talk is about 2 minutes. You will be able to use note cards on most of the speeches, and you will be able to use a manuscript on your final speech. Because this is an online speech class, the way that you record your speeches is via the MindTap Engage software, and that means that you will be able to use a system like I'm doing now. I'm using my webcam on my computer and record your videos there, upload them to the software, and then get feedback both from me and your classmates, which is kind of a nifty way to do it. I really like the feature in this software where I can record a video back to you when I'm grading your speeches, for example. You will also probably have already seen the announcement requiring an audience for at least 2 speeches, and those are your middle 2, so your informative and persuasive speech. And please do note that we do take that audience requirement seriously. It is a communication skills department policy that you need to present to at least so many adults, and I've chosen 4 for this class in order to pass the class. So for speeches 2 and speeches 3, you do need to have at least 4 adults in the room that you are presenting to and that you show us that you're presenting to. And if you cannot acquire those adults, I do offer some alternatives, meaning that you would need to come to campus and you could either present to one of my face-to-face classes, or you could present to a group of people that I assemble kind of hodgepodge. So there are some workarounds, but be thinking who you could invite / ask to be an audience member. And that might mean that you ask people at work during a break, that you assemble a small group of friends, you bribe them with some pizza. Whatever you need to do, just know that speeches 2 and 3, you do need to have an audience, because if you don't, it does record as a 0 in your grade. The other thing that we will be doing in this class is textbook quizzes that accompany each chapter, and so there are 16 chapters in your online text, so you will have reading material. Oftentimes that is accompanied by videos and little activities. Most of the time the chapter quizzes will be 10 points, and I give you 3 attempts to get the best score. I take the best of those 3. So if you don't do well the first time you take it, you can take it again. And then you will also have some small video activities or questions to answer in various chapters that will account for about 5-10 points per week too. So make sure that you stay on top of that online textbook work. It is meant to help you stay on track with what we're learning and to keep you invested and involved in the content and becoming a better speaker. And there might also be a few impromptu speeches that you would do via video, and impromptu simply means that you have very little time to prepare for it, and they're usually kind of billed as an elevator speech or almost like an interview speech. So it is a great way to practice for job interviews. It's, tell me about your 3 best qualities or your 3 weaknesses, and you don't get a lot of time to think about it, and you kind of have to be able to spout something relatively intelligible to connect with your audience members. So we'll do a few of those as practice. So that's somewhat of a rundown of what we're doing this term in your online speech class. Again, 4 major speeches, 2 of which require an audience of at least 4 adults, and by adult I mean somebody who's over 18. So be thinking about who you could ask to participate in those speeches or how you will make arrangements to come to campus for those. And then getting to know the software and the technology involved in this Engage online text. So if you have any questions, always email is the quickest way to reach me. And our class starts next Monday, which is January 13th. So I will post this under our announcements area and under the assignments area, and hopefully you'll have some time between now and Monday to poke around in Blackboard and in Engage and see if you have any questions. If so, please drop me an email, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Thanks.